anyways. Just make sure we've got this all connected up. Hopefully I can get this all sorted before we go qualifying, which should be any minute now. Oh yeah, I should do that. Whoops, just holding up everything. There we are, I was the reason that qualifying was delayed. And here we have it. Let's have some fun, shall we? These guys will be rolling out of the pit lane now. Of course, we have the Toyota 86 Group 4 for this season, so a nice little nimble car. Going to have a bit of fun as BCP. Now, there was a bit of chatter before, and everyone was saying that we're going to see a lot of handbrake grips through turn 1, and he is just proving that point to himself, and I suppose to everyone behind him is BCP. Oh, so we're just struggling to get to the hold of buttons again. That should be happening. There should be no. If I'm going to do that, we are good. Okay. Just connected up all of the keyboard functions. We have this all sorted by the time these boys are qualifying. Of course, a long lap here at the Nürburgring. It's 2 minutes just over to have a lap done in these Group 4 machinery. And these guys will all be chasing somewhere around a low 2:03 will be my prediction for pole position. So each car as well rocking a selection of sponsors from their state of origin, as you do. The New South Wales team representing Coca-Cola Amatil and Sydney Motorsports Park. As we see Jamo as well with the same. Stone Tower Prezzo in behind, one of the Prezzo boys in the Western Australia represented car. And Jamo is just giving him a bit of weave ahead, trying to get some warmth into the tyres. I'm sure Prezzo will just be all eyes forward, ready for the lap ahead. There you go, actually, we see the medium runners now peeling in, so these guys opting to start on the medium tyre for this race. So that is Perezzo, Bodhod, Curving, Texas, Jamo, Banana Josh, BK. There is a large selection of them. Blocky as well. We'll see Wags continues. Lunacy will also be on the medium tyre as we go back to him. And then Tim Ant, the final of our 11 runners tonight, also on the medium tyre. So I believe we're actually missing someone tonight. We're supposed to have 12 guys on track, and we've come out with 11. So a couple mysteries there, but we'll go ahead to some action. We've got Banana Cake Pie on the first of his flying laps now in this 10-minute session. And he will be really striving to put a hot time down for everyone to chase. He throws it out at the first sector. Gorgeous curves here, this left into right. Almost like a bit of an elongated chicane, but really crucial to get right is he actually runs really wide from the apex there, and that's going to hurt a lot of his speed coming down to this hairpin. Go on board here. Ooh, lots of push there in the front end, so he hasn't quite got it in. He's actually on the medium tyre right now, so Banana Cake Pie opting just to push for one instead of peeling in like lots of the others did. So he still wants to start on the medium, but he clearly doesn't want to, or he's got his own strategy going on here, so BCP will have his own thing going, and I'm sure he will manage that just fine. And it turns out I have completely forgotten about Dynamite. Everyone will have to sit tight. I am happy doing it solo if you want Dynamite. You don't have to come in. Your call. I'll just wait for you to respond to that. Hopefully the live chat is actually working. What the camera views have we got? There we go. That's the one I was after. So BCP choosing there to finish the lap. So this is an odd call from him. He's, you know, in my opinion, probably wasting a little bit of precious qualifying time, and especially with the time he's about to put down. So that's a 6.5 for BCP. That'll be the first lap of the session, and I just can't see that being competitive. And Jim Wags, JM Wags, I always make that mistake for some reason, has picked up the first penalty of the session, and that will be difficult to improve on as he does at 8.6, and we'll just crack open a party real quick for Dynamite. There we have it. So the rest of these guys will now be starting on their push laps. So Prezzo, Banana Josh, Kevin Texas, Bodhod, BK, Blocky Rex, Jamo, The Lunacy, and Tim Ant all pressing now into Sector 1. As we'll see, Wags 3/10 up now on his 8.6, so a little bit slower than what BCP went in Sector 1. So he's figured out something that the rest can't, even on that medium tyre. So go check out what Prezzo's doing in P3, the West Australian. We'll actually go back and see if we can grab a few more sector times. As Blocky crosses the line 7/10 purple. We've gone a little too far back there, but we'll see what Lunacy has to do. So 7/10 purple is probably what we want to see. I've literally just started a party with you already, Dynamite. 6/10 purple for Lunacy. And then we'll just catch what Tim's going to do before we peel off and figure out why this isn't working. Then 7.5 for Tim Ant. So that is roughly on par with where we saw Blocky. And that will be an interesting battle to watch. Nope, that party didn't work before. Okay, we'll go with Dynamite now. We'll check in at the front with BCP now choosing to peel in after wasting unbelievable quality time. We should be here with Dynamite now. Have you got all your settings right so that I can hear you through share party and whatnot?
Yeah, you should have it all right.
Yep, lovely. There we go.
I'll just make sure it's all right on my end. Sorry to be the pain.
No, you're good.
Lucky we got it sorted before the race.
Yeah, you didn't say anything before I ducked out, so.
Yeah, I should have. That's my bad.
That's right. No stress. No stress.
You should be able to hear me fine on the stream.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. No worries.
Okay, cool. I didn't have it on, so as long as that's sorted on your end.
Interesting qualifying here so far. Banana Josh looking fairly quick. Prezzo not... he's a bit far behind, but... You know, I would expect Prezzo to be right on the back of Banana Josh come the end of this qualifying session.
Yeah, look, Josh is one of those guys who can really put in the time and effort when he sees a good result coming. And a 3.2 just the closing end of this quali session is going to be very hard to beat as Lunacy puts in a 3.6.
Yeah, it's a good lap by Lunacy. Hopefully... yeah, sorry, continue.
No, I did everything. Just got to bounce off here.
Yeah, now we got Prezzo here coming through the first sector. Can he be up through the first split? I think he's already passed the first split, so we'll see through the second split.
Of course, the second split, probably one of the shorter ones on the circuit, just coming from out of Sector 1 under the bridge, down into the hairpin, and just on exit is where we catch the Sector 2 split. So, quite short, but very, very easy to lose a chunk of time if you're not careful.
Yeah. I got that back up. So he's 2/10 up through the second split, which should put him close to Lunacy, and not so close to Banana Josh. Can he pick up any time in the third split?
Yeah, hard to say. Blocky as well, just coming through the second sector split, and he is just over 7/10 down now, so this will probably be a bit of a write-off for Blocky, but he's got just enough time to get a third push lap in, so.
The question will be is whether the tyres can handle that third push lap or not.
Doubtful, let's be honest. Like, if we look at the front tyre wear now, I don't see these guys getting a good one in.
Yeah, it's one of the characteristics, even with these rear-wheel drive GR4 cars, is they tend to get a lot of front tyre wear just from not having the downforce to be able to get through the corners. They do tend to drag a lot. So that'll be something to watch for closely in the race, is whether these guys can, you know, keep who can keep those front tyres in check to have the front cornering for the whole in length of the race. As Texas goes P3, that's a nice lap there by Texas.
So good showing from the Queensland boys as well. So that's Queensland 2 and 3 now with Lunacy just ahead.
Yeah, I live in Queensland, but I'm not going for them. I'm repping the New South Wales boys tonight.
Oh.
As a I bleed blue.
Fair enough. As Lunacy, one of the red men, just improving again. So only a 10th outside of Banana Josh's time now at the 3-3.
Tim out at 2:03.9 moves him up into the top 10.
That's quick from Timmy.
It is pretty quick, but it's still, I'd expect him to be a bit more up, knowing his pace in the GT3 league. He can be up there in qualifying, so for him to be down outside the top 5 in equal standings is pretty surprising for me, actually. As we look at Bodhod, his teammate, coming up to the second split now. Can he improve? Now I'm expecting big things from Bodhod in this league.
I think it's funny for Bodhod. It's probably a car he prefers. Bodhod's always been very open about the fact that he prefers a car with a lot of understeer, a lot of push. He doesn't like these really tail-happy cars like we've seen the WRX do, so this should be something that suits him quite well, and 7th probably isn't where we or anyone else expects him to be.
Yeah, no, I'd expect him to be up the front with Banana and Lunacy, and they're sort of the guys that'll be, fighting it out for these race wins. I would put down, but he's not looking very good for this lap, and he's not going to get another one. So I think P7's probably the best Bodhod's gonna be up for here. As we look at who else we got. Anyone
We've got BCP just about to finish his lap now, and he hasn't really got a representative time in yet. So.
Yeah, 3.3 seconds off the pace. Can he get anywhere in there? He should be inside that top 10, but it says he comes across the line and he does a 2:04.1, which puts him in the 7th ahead of Bodhod. Banana Josh has crossed the line. He's kept that P1. Can anyone behind? BK's the next to come across the line. Oh no, Blocky is. Blocky, sorry.
And he can't improve. BK does a
spinning across the line. Jamo's going to come across the line. He doesn't improve. Anyone else ahead of JM Wags?
Alright, so Tim coming around the final corner now, P6. See if he can improve to Victoria.
He doesn't.
Cannot. Who else are we missing?
JM Wags is coming across the line now. I don't think he's way off. He's had a mistake somewhere in the lap.
Shocker of a session for Wagsy.
I think that is it. Yes, that is everybody. So everybody's come across the line now. No, Lunacy. Sorry, Lunacy. The only person on the other side of the track. Can he do it? He needs to make up a 10th to beat Banana Josh. He's very squirmy through the final chicane. Can he get a good run through the final corner?
He's on mediums, on an outlap, so I would say that is probably done for him.
I don't have my shit up on the screen.
Oh, okay, yep.
That is my bad.
That would be Lunacy just finishing a bit of a cider lap. I dare say that a lot of these guys haven't really done any laps on the medium tyre, which is what a lot of them are starting on. So that'll just be Lunacy try and get a bit of an edge on everyone else and seeing where the grip lies.
That is a very odd tactic in these cars. I would have thought, with the type of cars they are, I would have been starting on the soft and using the medium through to the end.
Yes and no. Like, I think starting towards the back, you'd probably be more tempted to start on the medium, but I guess we'll see how those guys go as we now jump to the grid.
So we got Banana Josh, Lunacy, Texas, your top 3, Stonetail in 4th, and I'll let you take it away for the lights, Piper.
And here we go. So, of course, Josh and Lunacy are your front row starters. We'll see as these revs build. 3, 2, 1, and they are off. And it is a shocking start from Texas. Blocky's got the jump on him. Prezzo with a strong start as well, as we see Josh try and get a bit of a better camera view for you. Everyone's just squeezing into this tight turn 1. Look at them now, 4 abreast, and Tim Ant's gone flying. BCP as well. I would only assume that would be a red flag.
Red flag.
As, that was Bodhod stuck on the grid.
Yeah, so we got Bodhod, Banana Josh, and Stonetail all on the grid for me at least.
Yeah,
that might just be people leaving, but yeah, red flag has been thrown.
Interesting.
As we await the restart. Currently the 2 New Zealand boys in 1st and 2nd. Let's see if they heard the memo about the red flag.
I think eventually they'll catch on to it, but that was a bit of an unorthodox start.
Yes, very. Not the likes of which it's not like we haven't seen it before here in Project One, but very unusual for the first race of a new series, that's for sure.
Damn frustrating as well, I dare say. A lot of these guys are running quite time limited. I know guys like Tim Ant and probably Blocky as well have school tomorrow. And we've now
Yes.
had the full lobby booted. So that will be a full lobby reset to see if we can curve some of those issues. Hopefully we can.
Yeah, just going back to the grid, to have Bodhod down in 8th or 9th, I think it was 8th, that is very surprising. Hopefully he can make up for that in the feature race. Where do you expect him to sort of come around by the end of the feature race?
Look, hard to say. I mean, Bodhod, we've seen him been thrust into cars before and just sort of, he makes up for it. He's got a lot of talent behind the wheel of these cars and he can sort of just scrape a result out of nowhere. I get the feeling in this style of really close racing, he might not be able to make it as far as we might expect Bodhod to. So I'm thinking maybe just inside the top 5, P5, P4 might be where we see him lie.
Yeah, okay, that sounds all right. Who are you tipping for the race? Knowing the start grid, who do you reckon's going to be the one to watch for? And who do you reckon's going to lose the most from those top 4-5?
It's it's hard to say, isn't it? I mean, you look at those two on the front row; they know what they're doing. They've been around the block multiple times. And I'd have to probably tip your pole man, Banana Josh, to go all the way with it. I'm not so sure about the reverse grid. We'll see how it lies come that race, but I think he'll get it done in this first race.
I reckon that Lunacy, if he can get the start and get into turn 1, I reckon he'll run away with it.
Right.
Um,
Yep.
I want to say Josh to have a good race, but at the same time, knowing Josh's driving style, it's hard to see him being able to take the tyres the length of a stint
Yeah.
without
Yep.
making a mistake. So I hope he proves me wrong, and I hope he stays in it for the whole race. But I am thinking he might drop off towards the back end of the stints, and that's where Lunacy and Prezzo and Tex will probably come into their own and being able to keep them tyres in just that little bit better,
Yep. Tend
and
to agree.
make the positions up.
And I might just see if I can. I'll just show everyone a quick lap. Just going to try and go on board for a quick lap just to show everyone a decent lap around here. Just need BK to give me a shout when they're actually going to start. I don't want to stay on the grid. Yeah, we've got a bit of time. Alright, and we'll come out here in the We Are Racing 86 Group 4. And this thing loves a good short shift, does it? Are you coming out as well, Dynamite?
Yeah, I'm coming out.
Yeah?
I'm
Yeah,
coming
cool.
out in my car. I thought might as well get the two commentators out there.
I'll wait up for you. Got Wags here as well. We'll just get out of his way.
Yeah, he's looking to try and find a bit of extra a few extra laps. Oh,
Might as well.
I've already made a mistake in the turn 1.
Very deep. That's very easy to do as well. We'll see it happen quite a few times, I dare say.
Hopefully not on the first lap. This does come as I am wearing an arm brace at the moment, which is the reason I'm not racing.
Yeah, not the easiest to combat. How would you like to talk us through from here through to the exit of Sector 2?
Well, from here, it's nice, little short straight, usually get up to about 180, and then I don't know about other people, I take this first left-hander in third, and then down the second for the left one, try and keep it tight. Oh, and we've been reset.
Just jump straight out again.
Yeah. Oh, these cars sound nice. I like them.
They're okay.
You seem to be having a bit of a pick glitch there. No,
I'm all good.
As we come down to turn 1, nice inside apex. You don't want to take too much of the apex because of that bump. Usually sends the rears of these smaller cars around. And Tim Ant making fun of us in the chat.
Says the school kid.
Oh, and we've been told to
There's
get off
only
the
8
track.
people on. What's he doing? Finish school kids. Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's... you buddy.
I'm just going to take it. I don't want to cause another red flag.
Well, they better be ready, as we've just jumped off for them. Jump onto the only bloke on the track currently, which is JM Wags, and Jamo has left the
Jamo
room,
has left
so
the room. That's always
just
nice.
swell, isn't it? What is the go here? And BK has left the room. Alright, this is not going well, is it? I think we don't have Blocky in here currently either, so no we do. Jamo's back, BK. Just trying to see what's going on. So we've got, should have 11 on track, which is currently got 9 plus Jamo and BK, that'll be 11. So as long as they can join without issue, we should be just fine. Banana Josh on pole is here. Yes, mate, you are on pole. Congratulations. That was a very good lap. Get you ahead of Lunacy.
Yeah, very well driven, Josh. Very well driven.
Yeah, you've just got to put your heads down, mate. And remember, it's a longish race that we've got here. 2 20 lappers. And just look after your front tyres as much as you can, really.
In the famous words of Lewis Hamilton, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So please don't chuck a Lewis Hamilton into turn 1. I yelled in joy when he did it. I don't think I'll be yelling in joy if you did it.
See, I was pretty happy. I was happy when Verstappen had his failure, and then I was even happier when Hamilton had his off. So that was a great night for me.
I wasn't very happy when Verstappen had his failure.
I know,
I'm not a big Verstappen fan, but like he deserved that race win, and for that to happen, but.
Oh, it doesn't
anyway,
bother
that's
me.
F1. We're here for Project 1.
Exactly right.
You've got Jamo doing Tokyo Drift on the circuit at the moment for a bit of practice, and Bodhod has now left the room.
What is going on here?
I'll tell you what, Jamo, you've got some skills at drifting that car. That is a very nice job there. He's doing some mad sideways action in the 44 New South Wales Cup car.
Bit of sideways as Bodhod just jumps back in. Hopefully that should be the last of our resets. We should be well into the race by now, so a lengthy delay.
Red One hasn't entered either.
No, he's not racing tonight. So.
Oh, that's right. He's just spectating in.
Correct.
Otherwise, he'd probably be on pole.
You'd assume so, yeah. Yeah, Red One's another one of those really high caliber guys who, you know, every time we see him in the GT series, he's just absolutely buggered off the field. So.
Oh yeah, as much as I love racing in this series, him racing in it is sort of one of my pet peeves. But you know, at the end of the day, man's quick.
Yep.
I'm not gonna, take it away from him. Hopefully one day I'm as quick enough as him and I can try and beat him in that GT3 league. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised he isn't here tonight. I would have thought he'd be in for WA.
Yeah,
but and like his replacement Banana Josh is doing just as good. So I think WA are probably the team to beat in this series.
At the moment, yeah, you're probably right.
Having a lineup of Banana Josh, Ridwan, and Prezzo, and I think was there another one in WA? I can't remember. Oh, and Jackie Prez as well.
Yep.
4 very formidable drivers. You got Banana Josh and Ridwan who will be up there fighting for the wins pretty much any race they're in, and Prezzo and his twin Jackie Prez probably they're no slouch. They're podium contenders in these cars, no doubt about it. So yeah, they're the team to look out for. I reckon. What do you say? Say Queensland a close second with Lunacy in Texas.
Yeah, I'd probably say they're a strong second team. We've finally gotten the green light, so let's see how we go this time around. Hopefully these guys can all make it off the grid. The rumour was actually that was a clashing connection between myself and Bodhot, which shouldn't even be happening. That's like, I'm not even on track, so
yes, that is very weird.
Shouldn't be causing that.
Alright, as we get ready here after the red flag for another 4 lights as it appeared on the last start. I'll let you take it away again, Viper. You're the
Here we
king
go.
of the start, so...
Oh, King. Too much. Hopefully we get a bit of a cleaner start than last time. It's only 3-2-1 for this time, and they are going now for State of Origin.
And it looks like we've got 11 runners off the grid.
Exactly what we want to see. Josh with a strong start. Lunacy down the inside. He's got the racing line now, so he might be able to chuck something at him. Curving as well, poking his nose, but Josh sweeps around the outside and he's able to get the job done. That is a great start from Josh.
Excellent start from Banana Josh there. Excellent start from Tex and Lunacy as well. Queensland running second and third. Strong start for the Queensland team. And then Prezzo lurking there. Prezzo goes for a move around the outside of Tex, but it doesn't work out. And I think Blocky behind was under pressure from Banana. Oh, it's a very close battle back here between Banana, Blocky, and Prezzo. As Blocky goes to the outside, he gets past, and it's going to be Blocky, Prezzo, and Banana. Oh, Prezzo with the sneaky dive.
Oh, there's a lot of contact there. Blocky, it looks like he's lagging a little bit. They're 4 wide coming out of here now, coming down into the Sector 2 hairpin. That is unheard of at the Nürburgring.
And Bodhod, the massive gainer out of all of that, 8th place up to 4th.
Huge moves from
Victorian
Bodhod.
team making huge moves. As it looks like Blocky's had another incident. Oh, and he's come together with Tim on the exit of the long right-hander. And they're going to go side by side.
Still clashing.
Schumacher S's. Looks like they've both managed to hold it.
These guys just fighting really hard to find their spot on the track at the moment. Bodhod running a little wide from P4. He's got to be real careful. He's got Prezzo and BCP for company, so any slip up in here will be in trouble.
And this battling has caused the top 3 to break away, and Lunacy's now looking for a move on Banana Josh, going to the outside into the chicane. Can he get the move done? He's braked the slide a bit later, but Banana Josh has the inside for the chicane, and he'll keep the lead. And Tex is looming very closely to Lunacy, so any mistake by his teammate or by Banana Josh, he'll capitalise and gain that spot.
Yeah, these two, we said the WA team was probably the one to watch, but the Queensland team definitely have the strongest start. It's Lunacy now on the attack, going to the inside of Banana Josh for turn 1. Can he get the move done? It is only lap 2. And Josh has broken a little bit later, but Lunacy just backing off, making sure he takes that position.
Banana Josh is going to get the over and under on him. Can he hold it? Does he get the run? He's going to go around the outside of turn 2. And he's held it there. Can he keep it all the way around turn 3 and get the inside for turn 4?
No, surely not there. And Lunacy just smart enough to chop the nose off. Great racing there. Great racing.
Great racing. And now Banana Josh has run a bit wide, and now Tex is smelling second place here behind his teammate. Could this be a Queensland 1-2? He has a sniff to the inside, but Banana Josh is able to hold it.
Yeah, Tex chucks it.
Inside. Oh, nice move there by Tex, and nice awareness from Josh to give him the space. And now we have a Queensland 1-2.
Just have another look to see if we can look at that move again. That was Curving Texas setting it up early. We had Josh come through the left-hander, and he just runs a little bit deeper, and he throws it down there. Great move from Tex. That is textbook stuff.
And what this will allow now is, if Queensland are thinking the long game, Tex to be sort of a backup to Lunacy and allow Lunacy to pull away, or will Tex try to keep up and go for this win?
Hard to say, really. I mean, look, Lunacy's clearly got a bit of a gap over Tex already, nearly out to 8/10, and then Curving just trying to probably have a bit of a buffer back to Josh. We know what Josh is capable of. He can be a really dangerous bloke to be around. And then another 2 seconds now back to Bodhod. So the battling's cost them early, and these guys have just been separated from the top 3.
You look at Tim Ant now, he's going to look to the outside of Banana Cake Pie into the chicane, but not quite there. Banana Cake Pie very good on the brakes into that chicane, able to keep that New South Wales car ahead of the... That's Blocky, sorry. I'm not reading.
That's alright. Blocky's actually he's done pretty well in terms of damage limitation. Only 7th place after we saw him in an absolute skirmish on the first couple of laps, so that's not too bad.
He's managed to bring it back. It was a bit sketchy at the start. I thought he was into the gravel at one point, but as he's now looking down the inside of Banana Cake Pie into turn 1, can he hold the move? Banana's going to keep around the outside, but Blocky's going to force him out, and he's now actually defending from Tim. And Banana's actually, and Tim's going to come through. Blocky running a bit too wide on the exit, allowing Tim to get the move on him.
Yeah, that was less than ideal from Blocky. He just had the car probably slightly mispositioned and just allowed Tim to take that position when he really least needed it.
Back at the front, Lunacy's built up that lead to nearly a second. Curving still holding off Banana Josh, but he seems to be pulling away a little bit. He's got that gap up to 7th there, so the top three are sort of pulling apart. We're seeing who's got the race pace and who doesn't. And then that gap back to the midfield with Bodhod and Prezzo locked in sync. Only 2 tenths between them. Prezzo definitely looking faster. Can he get the move done on the Victorian to get that, to make it a WA 3-4?
I'd expect so. Of course, Prezzo, one of our masters of, you know, tyre preservation and keeping the fuel alive. He's always been really good at just making sure he's got the equipment to fight till the end, and he just seems to be lacking that cutting edge right now to really finish off a race and grab that win. So, you know, passing Bodhod and getting something done this early will just be a nice step forward to see what he can do. And he pulls out of the slipstream now alongside Bodhod through this kink, and these two, you'd think Bodhod maybe just step out of it, which he does.
Bodhod's
Really smart
thinking
stuff.
the long game, he's thinking. But now we got Queensland 1-2, WA 3-4.
There you go.
Will Prezzo have the pace to actually bring in this top four? Is that what Bodhod's thinking? Maybe stick with Prezzo and, you know, creep up towards those top three?
It could be. Look, if Prezzo have really made a lot of gains on the top three, then this is exactly what Bodhod wants. He wants to just sit in his slipstream. He wants Prezzo to lead forward and start setting these really quick lap times. A 5-1 last time out, so he's only, you know, just under 8 tenths off what Lunacy's done. And that's our race leader, who is now 1.3 ahead of Tex. So that's not too bad for the West Australian man.
And as we got Tim Ant back here, he's just past Banana Cake Pie through turn 2, made a nice move around the outside of turn 1, and is now up into 6th place for the Victorian team.
Just grab a replay of that one actually. Yep, so that was Tim round the outside of BCP. And he sticks it there, does he? Wow! Tim gets it done, holds that inside line, and BCP left with nowhere to go. That's bloody impressive stuff there.
Very nice. And we'll just do a quick run through of the order. We got Lunacy in first by 1.2 seconds for Queensland. His teammate Curving Texas 9 tenths over WA's Banana Josh. And then we got Prezzo nearly 3 seconds back in the other WA car, followed very closely by Bodhod for Victoria. Tim Ant for Victoria behind him. Banana Josh is the first New South Wales car.
Banana Cake Pie.
Banana Cake Pie, apologies. Blocky Rex the first of the Kiwi cars, and he's actually sizing up a move onto Banana Cake Pie. He's looking very menacing at the moment. Can he get the move done cleanly as Banana Cake Pie runs off the track? And now this surely would give Blocky the run onto the back straight as he goes underneath, and will he be able to hold it up into the braking zone?
I think he's got it done already. The only thing he's going to have to be mindful of is BCP's going to have a lot of slipstream now coming into this chicane, but I don't think he's actually going to want to use it either. So no, we'll just sit in behind.
Very nice move for Blocky, putting on the pressure and forcing Banana Cake Pie. Or as Banana Cake Pie comes back on the exit of the chicane. I'm about to sneeze, sorry.
Go for it. Bit of an over-under there. Oh, Blocky. That's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous move for Blocky there.
Banana Cake Pie is going to have to run into turn 1 now with the slipstream. Will he be able to defend him off?
We will see.
Into turn 1 now, and Banana Cake Pie's too far.
Oh, no. Oh, wow.
He's locked up and he's off. That was way too late from Banana Cake Pie, but he seems to have put Blocky off enough to keep it there.
Oh.
Blocky's going to hold around the outside of turn 2. Can he do the outside of turn 3 as well? He's actually got ahead.
I think he's well within his rights to hold on to that position there. That was definitely an out of control Banana Cake Pie coming into turn 1 there.
As Banana would call it, a desperate dynamite move.
Yep.
Into turn 1.
You're not wrong.
He's looking again into the fast chicane. These two just can't stay away from each other. As Blocky's going to give him a bit of a tap towards the gravel trap. And this has allowed BK to come right onto the back of both of these. It is now the South Australian, the lone South Australian.
Oh, but he's got a penalty. That's a penalty for BK.
He's got to go up there.
That's awkward.
He's tagged Banana Cake Pie, but will he hold it too? Yeah, he gets ahead before the Schumacher S.
Now,
Banana
tell
Cake
me,
Pie won't be too happy about that.
Tell me, Dynamite, is there not a rule that we have in Project 1 where drivers cannot pass other drivers while they have a penalty?
I don't know. I've never heard of that rule before.
Now,
That's
I
probably-
may be mixing leagues. This may be completely my mistake, but I can clearly see currently BK with a 4/10 penalty, and he has
I've
just
never
passed.
personally heard of the rule, but at the same time, it could be a rule for this particular league through Project 1. But I know definitely in the past I have had a penalty and passed people, and nothing was said about it. So
No, I'd say
I'll leave
it's
that-
I'd say it's all on me then, and that's
that's
BK.
a very
Yeah.
interesting line through from BK there. He does concede the position, which is pretty good, but I would expect another 5/10 to be added on. Maybe not.
Nope. No, he's probably avoided it. It was a
Very
fair amount of
surprising.
time lost, so I think he can get away with that one. Oh, there's Wagsy in the background, just bowling a wide.
Back to BK. Will he try a Desperate Dynamite move down on turn 1? No, he actually uses his brain. Banana Cake Pie really wide through turn 1. He really seems to be struggling to get that car turned in through turn 1.
Ooh, BK just using a bit too much of the grass on the inside too. That grass can be really good to help your rotation, but use too much of it and you just end up with a really taily car with absolutely no momentum build.
Well, here we go. The battle for P5 here. That Stone Tower has lost some time. He's been passed by Bodod and now he's got T-Man all over him.
Oof. You got the Victorian boys trying to make something of their night as well. So Prezzo, who was, the second car in a WA 3-4, is just sort of plummeting at the moment.
Yeah, I wonder if he's made a mistake or if to allow Bodhod through and allow Tim to catch up. Because he was running a fair chunk ahead of Bodhod at the time. But now Bodhod's been able to pull an 8/10 gap on them. And that gap between the top 3 and the rest of the field is now grown to 4 seconds.
Yeah, it's definitely expanded. These guys just cannot keep up with the pace of the top 3. So Josh, yeah, the slowest of the 3, and even he currently is running low 5s. So that is great pace and consistency from Josh. Tex as well running in a low 5, and Lunacy is the only guy who's been able to keep it in the 4s.
Yes, that's what I would expect from Lunacy, someone who's very good on his tyres and very consistent. Doesn't always have the outright pace, but his consistency is on another level compared to some people.
Yeah, it's bloody impressive. Yeah.
Battle between Prezzo and Tim-Man. Just missed it. I just missed it, but as we look now, Tim-Man got an excellent run out of the final corner. Will he look to the inside of the WA car into turn 1? Who in turn is getting a slipstream. Bodhod kind of not helping his teammate here by giving him a bit of a slipstream.
Oh, was that a moment there from Prezzo? Yeah.
Really tight line.
It's almost like he locked the rears. He just sort of beelined straight towards the apex, and I wasn't sure entirely if he was going to get that stopped.
As this battle resumes further behind between BK and Banana Cake Pie, BK still unable to get rid of that 4/10 penalty. And he seems to be harrying the New South Welshman. He's looking very quick. He didn't have the qualifying pace, but his race pace seems to be there.
Interestingly enough for BK as well, his fastest lap is 6.2, coming from the last lap 6. And that is, while it may be a little way off what the leaders are doing, that's some pretty solid consistency we consider. He dropped down into the 7s while he was really duking BCP, and he's just been able to bring his times right back. So BK, really proving that he can look after these front tyres while he needs to, as he locks the front right up going into the chicane, and BCP does it way worse and allows him to get alongside. So good time to go on board with these guys.
And they're still duking it out through the chicane. Move back up to these. Oh, so Prezzo's now caught back onto the back of Bodhod, and he's actually made a move on Bodhod going onto the back straight, so we could see 3 wide here up the chicane. If Tim's smart, he'll jump on the back of his teammate. Seems like Prezzo's fallen back in the line. The Bodhod on the inside for the chicane, Prezzo on the outside.
Oh, this doesn't work.
Oh, he's going to be tapped across the chicane, and he didn't give Tim much space there on the exit. Will Tim be able to hold it around the outside now? He's run wide, but he will get the run onto the straight. So I'd be expecting a move down in the turn 1 here.
That's a great setup from Tim here. He'll actually he'll be expecting Botthod to move over for him, just give him a bit of an extra pull. But I think Tim's got the pace. Just seeing fired in the inside now. Bit of contact.
Prezzo turns in on Tim, and Tim has to take the big bump. That would have unsettled the car a lot, but he does get the move done up in the 5th. So now we got Victoria running 4th and 5th. Prezzo just seems to be struggling in this phase of the race. Seems to be dropping back. He's now going to have to put up with Blocky, who's lagging a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that. We might actually just go from the front to the back here, just check how people are handling their tyres and fuel. So from the top, we've got Lunacy, who is showing, you know, some real trace amounts of wear on the front and rear. About half a tank left. And then Tex, who has actually picked up a half-second penalty since we were last on board with him.
I think he's made a mistake somewhere, because now Banana Josh is right onto the back of him, so I reckon he's maybe hopped a curb or something.
Yeah.
Going a bit wide somewhere, and just it's giving him that penalty and allowed Banana Josh to come right into his rear end again.
Less than ideal. Tex, however, just looking after his tyres a little bit more than what Lunacy was, but using a bit more fuel. And then Josh, who was actually our guy who we thought would probably struggle with the most with the tyres, probably has the best conditioned front and rears of anyone right now, and has plenty of fuel in the tank.
Yeah, he's being in that slipstream, it's probably saved him a lot of fuel, and he's actually on for a personal best. He's dipped back into the 204s last lap, so he's been keeping some in the tank, and maybe he heard a bit of our pre-race discussion and decided that he was going to drop back in the slipstream.
Oh, sorry to cut you off there. We've got Prezzo making it 3 wide coming into the chicane. He's actually tried to throw it on both the Victorian boys in one there, and actually managed to grab Tim out of nowhere. So that was
managed to pull 6/10 through the chicane.
Yeah, that was actually.
The line is Tim gives him a bit of a bump through the final corner.
Yeah, Tim lost 2 spots there. That was less than ideal for him.
Now look, Tim's gonna. I reckon Tim will be feisty to get that place back. He thinks better of it, but Prezzo's looking to the inside of Botthod, and Botthod hits the bump, and this is going to allow Prezzo to try and get around the outside, and Botthard's going to give him 5/10.
Yeah, nice little how you going for your troubles, and Prezzo was going to make it a little bit worse. That was deep from Prezzo.
Tim exploring all of the track there behind them. Now Prezzo's going to run it wide, and can Botthod get up the inside in this next corner? These three are just, one passes the other and then passes back. It's amazing battling here between these three.
Great to watch, but one thing it won't be helping is their race time. They are just watching as this top 3 trails further and further away.
Yeah, and it's not helping their tyre wear either by the looks of it. Their tyres are probably... Tim's are in decent condition, but especially Botthod. Botthod seems to be really wrecking those tyres, but he is saving a bit of fuel by doing it. He's probably going to struggle a bit later on in the race with tyre wear if this is how he continues on. But if these three keep battling the way they're going, then they're not going to be in for a shout at the podium at all. I mean, the gap's 7.5 seconds to the top 3 now, so
it's a little bit unobtainable, you'd think, for anyone except for these top 3 now. And speaking of top 3, Josh he refuses to give up this attempt for P2. He's really making himself a bit of a menace in the rearview mirror of Tex.
I wonder if Tex is starting to struggle a bit on those tyres. Even though they look pretty good, his driving style is sort of the one that when the tyres go off, he struggles to adapt a bit. But he seems to be holding all right.
Oh, here we go. We have our first stoppers. So that is the 3 who were battling for 4th spot. So that was Prezzo, Botthod, and Tim all coming in for their first stop.
Look how much fuel Botthard's saving compared to Prezzo and his teammate.
That's huge. That is Botthard at his fuel-saving best.
That could be the difference between 4th and 6th. Do we watch now? Botthard and his 2 teammates. 2 teammates, yes, right. I apologise for my lapse in commentary tonight. It's the first time in a while.
Victorian crew have gotten to work. You've got the Dan Murphys on the side with the "Get on the beer" slogan. Can't complain with that.
As Botthard comes out first, followed by Prezzo and Tim-Ant. So yes, that extra fuel that Botthard managed to save has actually won him that position back on Prezzo.
Now, this will be interesting because the strategy games, I beg your pardon, begin now because Bodhod being the first car on track on the soft tyre with only, I would say, about 2/3 of a tank of fuel. He will be, without a doubt, the quickest man on track. So Lunacy, Tex, and Josh all have to think real hard about this because Bodhod, if left for long enough, could get a really strong undercut on these guys and actually start to scare the podium a little bit.
Yes, if I was the top three, I'd be pitting this lap just to warrant any undercut. Useless. It's not like the tyres won't go to the end and you'll be able to fuel up for the end, so there's no point risking that undercut, especially now that those three who were pushing so hard are now in.
Exactly right. I think if your name is...
No, that's just my game lagging a bit.
Oh, okay. I think if your name is Tex or Josh, you come in right now to negate that undercut, which they are for Tex. All three of them. That's interesting from Lunacy. So in his position, I probably would have stayed out that little bit longer. You know, he's got a huge gap to the field, and he's probably got that ability just to stay out and not get hit with the undercut.
Yeah, and again, look at the fuel saving difference between Banana Josh and the two Queensland boys. Will that I reckon that'll help him jump Tex, but will it be enough to get him near or ahead of Lunacy?
Yeah, not sure. Jamo staying out as well. So the only man, actually, is that Wags as well following him through? It is. So Wags too, the guy who was running in P11 for most of this race, has stayed out as well on the medium compound. Interesting.
As Banana Josh has jumped Lunacy and Tex in the pits.
Oh wow.
May he have underfueled? That's the question.
Entirely possible. So looking at it, Josh with probably near on about 60% left in fuel. Lunacy fulled up to the full 75%, so he has got more than enough to be pushing for the rest of this race. And Tex in behind is running about the same number, but he has got Bodhod right in his tail now. Like I said, that undercut has been...
Very good decision to pit that lap.
Yeah. The only thing is Bodhod with not enough fuel, I think, to get to this this checkered flag on full beans. So Tex has probably got the advantage.
Prezzo having a little bit more fuel, same with Tim having a little bit more fuel than the guys ahead, so watch for those two to come up towards Bodhod near the end of the race, who more than likely will be fuel saving. Blocking just behind them as well. He could be in a shot to get Bodhod as well.
It's going to be...
BK has managed to get past Banana Cake Pie and pull out a 1.6 second gap over him. So very well done there. Banana Cake Pie running 11th. And we just got Jamo and Wags. As Wags has Banana Josh all over, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Banana Josh throw a move very quickly here.
Last thing, he needs to throw a move very quickly. He has Lunacy absolutely bearing down on him, and Wags will not really want to get out of the way that quickly for him. So I think he just benefited from the fact Wags running wide and letting them both through. But
mistake, yes.
Yeah, that was real crucial timing for Josh. He could not afford to be held up for even a second behind Wags.
Will Jamo choose to come in this lap? I think he is, yes, and I would assume Wags would be coming in also. So they're the last of the drivers to pit. Very interesting strategy, but I suppose they had nothing to lose. They were running the 10th and 11th, so...
Exactly right. And Jamo using a lot more fuel than anyone else at this stage, so that will not help where he's going to end up. All these guys will have a huge undercut on him, and I get the feeling that's just going to be curtains for Jamo tonight, with only Wags behind him.
But he will... That will put him on the front row for the sprint race, so that maybe he's looking more towards that for tonight's races. We got Tim down the inside of the stone. And with lag everywhere for me as I watch three of them go into the gravel and then into the wall.
I don't can properly see this. That's Tim still holding the position with Prezzo right on his exhaust pipe. These are? Yeah, just making sure these were actually rear exit exhausts. Yeah, Prezzo will be looking for any way to get past. That'd be a pretty cool 86 if it did.
These two got to be careful because Blocky has closed that gap to them now, so a mistake by either of them is going to bring Blocky right in there, so we know he's no slouch.
Speaking of a mistake, that was so close to going off the road there from Lunacy. He was testing the limit of the edge there. And then Kane in the chat too, who is supporting Team Queensland tonight. Hoping for your sake, Kane, that Lunacy can just manage to get the jump on Josh, who has a 7/10 gap now to overhaul.
Yeah, so Josh trying to stretch his legs a bit. Maybe he's doing something with the shifting that's helping him save the fuel, but he doesn't seem to be fuel saving at the moment, so we'll just have to keep a close eye on that towards the end of the race, because I don't think he's going to be able to make it at this stage.
I'll have a look at it, just the way he's driving it. It looks from the one shift I've just seen, so Josh is, yeah, he's revving the absolute guts out of this thing, which, now A, it's not good for fuel saving, but B, it's actually the slowest strategy with the 86. This car prefers to be short shifted. You can shift it probably just after the gear indicator, and you'll be getting absolute peak power out of this thing without wasting any of the rev. So we'll see how Lunacy's going. He's also revving it out, so that'll be more of the same, but with a massive advantage in fuel as Josh sets a 3.3 for the fastest lap.
Yeah, from what I remember in my short stint in these cars, it was a car that did like to be short shifted, especially coming out of corners, the acceleration, and just everything. It just didn't like to be revved right to the top. So maybe these guys know something that I don't, but if
No,
you're agreeing
that
with
is
the same thing.
Yeah, that is without a doubt the factual way to drive these cars the fastest.
As Banana Josh runs really wide on the exit of turn 4 there, but he actually manages to pull a bit further ahead of Lunacy, gap up to a second.
Well, he's definitely allowed. So Bodhod, the one who we said was definitely fuel critical, is short shifting the hardest of anyone by the looks of things. So that's about a halfway shift for Bodhod, which, believe it or not, probably won't be costing him any more or any less than revving everything out of it. So Bodhod probably having the better of the two strategies there, but we'll see if Tim will reel him in towards the end. Tim as well. Tim's actually shifting it exactly where you'd expect to. So if you see where Tim's shifting this thing...
Just looking at that, it looks like there was an incident between Blocky and Prezzo, because they have dropped back significantly from Tim. The gap's now about 6.5 seconds. So I wonder what's going on there, because they were right on Tim last time I checked on them.
Yeah, disappeared, haven't they? That's odd.
And BK is getting closer to this. He's only 2 seconds away from them, so maybe he sniffs a top 6 in the making if he can get his tyres and fuel to the end.
Yeah, could be.
Pies not far behind him.
Could be, but the battle for the lead now has closed up dramatically until a little mistake there actually from Lunacy. He was up to 2/10 there through the kink on the back straight, but that was a crucial mistake there from Lunacy. Just lost the rear coming out of the chicane, and it's opened back out to 1 second. So we know Lunacy has the pace now, but when can he get it done?
Yeah, that breathing space that he's just gifted to Banana Josh will help Josh in his fuel saving endeavour if that is the case. Crucial error. You can't be making these sort of mistakes when it's, fine margins between these drivers.
I just wonder how much it's going to take for Josh to make it to the end. I think he's probably short shifting a little more than he was before, so he's realised he's probably a little more fuel limited than he may think. But it's hard to say. These things aren't particularly rough on fuel, so he could probably make the end with only a little bit of short shift.
Yeah, well, even if he is short shifting, he's just gone purple through sector 1, so obviously the speed is still there. So yeah, that might be the time that these guys are realising that short shifting isn't losing them much pace and gaining them a lot more fuel, which if that's the case, I think this race falls more into the hands of Banana Josh.
Exactly right.
As much as Lunacy has that extra fuel, I think it'll make him not so much more comfortable than what we originally thought.
And a lot of these guys too, when they try to make that short shift, they'll actually find that they are going quicker, and that's when the penny drops, and they'll go, oh, hang on, maybe I should just be doing this, permanently. And at that stage, they just, get quicker and quicker, and they'll start understanding more and more about the car. And that was actually, Stone Towers had an absolute shocker of a lap 13. That was a 2:12, so he's lost massive ground on Blocky. So he's another 3 seconds behind Blocky now, and he has just plummeted down the order.
Yeah, I think we'll probably be hearing something about that after the race. I can't imagine that was a Prezzo mistake. He usually only makes those on the last lap.
Burn. Oh.
But yeah, this is actually any damage on Prezzo? Nah, so it's just actually brought BK and Banana Cake Pie closer. So can what was looking like a promising race for Prezzo when he's up in 4th is now he's looking like he may just be on the fringes of the top 10. As he takes a lot of curb through that chicane, and I would not be running that line because that looks very unsettling for these cars.
Bit sketchy. As Lunacy now stealing the fastest lap off, I think it was Banana Josh who held it before.
Yeah, Banana Josh.
And he's going defensive now, so Banana Josh clearly thinking that Lunacy's close enough to throw a move, and I think he's well within his right to do that. Lunacy is all over him. You do not want the fastest car on track that close to you with only 6 to go.
Yeah, these two are going to go hammer and tong, knowing the both of them. Lunacy is probably the more patient one, so he'll probably push him to the point of a mistake and try and sneak through. But it'll be hard. I reckon if Lunacy gets past, Banana Josh will hold onto him and try and make that move as soon as he can to get back in front.
Yeah, we'll see if Lunacy can just get a sniff. He's looking for it. You can tell he's just poking and prodding, seeing where he can get something done. And Josh is no easy man to overtake. I'm sure you know that as well as anyone.
Oh, yes, very well. Seems to be a 1/8 difference in fuel. So I don't know how much 1/8 accounts for around this track. But, yeah, it's question marks over Banana Josh's fuel. Can he make it to the end pushing? That is the question. There's only 5 laps to go and he's got just over a quarter of a tank. So I don't know how much a quarter of a tank gets here around here, but I don't think it's 5 laps.
It is about at a quarter of a tank. You're looking at about
Lunacy,
3.5.
all over him on the back straight, weaving and dodging. He's trying to get, like I said, he's trying to get Banana Josh into a mistake, putting himself in the mirrors, making himself very known. That was very erratic from Lunacy. I don't think I've ever seen him drive like that before.
Yeah, it was. Lunacy's looking for every trick in the book right now as he's really wanting to grab this race lead. And he's got a massive run off the final corner now, so that gap is just dropping as we speak. Lunacy now with the run we've been waiting to see. And Josh goes defensive. Can he block the inside? Don't think he can. And Lunacy now with the inside move will get the job done. Josh will go for the crisscross. Look at this.
Going to get the over and under. Yeah, Lunacy too late on the brakes.
Oh, and he might just be able to hang this.
He's got the run through turn 2 here. Can he hold it all the way through turn 3?
And this isn't a place Josh can hang on. He will run it wide, and Lunacy will sweep through and take the lead. Here we go. That was the moment we've been waiting for.
Yeah, very nice driving by both involved. Lunacy not to what's the word? I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Doesn't matter. And Banana Josh, giving him the space that he needed.
Yeah, it was a great exchange, and these two have clearly got a lot of history. They know how they race, and it was just that peace of mind to not run each other off the road and make it a great exchange.
Yeah, the question is now, will Banana Josh do the smart thing and just stick behind Lunacy for a couple laps, drop his fuel down, try and save a bit of fuel, get on equal terms with him, and then come back towards him, and take the fight to him on the last 2 laps, try and win this race.
That really just depends on the pace that Lunacy and Josh have. It can always be a bit of a strange thing with the way that these cars handle in slipstream in this game, because some cars will actually, obviously you improve your speed in a straight line with slipstream, but some cars genuinely handle better in slipstream. The Cayman GT4 actually being one of these cars. So it depends how Josh can handle being in the slipstream behind Lunacy, and if a lot of this pace that Lunacy had before was slipstream based. So these next couple of laps will be crucial for both drivers just to see if we have that information.
Yeah, well, it seems since Lunacy got past Banana, Josh has been able to stay within that 4 to 5 tenth margin of him, and his fuel is going down considerably slowly compared to Lunacy. So he is obviously fuel saving. It's just whether this fuel saving will cost him too much time to be able to come back to Lunacy.
Oh, he's chucked it! Oh, that's huge.
That's a very late move, but I don't think Lunacy saw that coming. From what I saw, that was fairly clean too.
That was a massive dive.
That was a very nice move from Banana Josh.
What has Lunacy got to answer that?
Yeah, we'll have to see the onboards if we have any, but from what I saw, there was
Yep, I can go to those right now, actually. We'll go back and we'll just have a look at how Josh got that done. He's chucked it. Oh, and he's fully on the brake still, and there's a bit of contact, but he's just slid that up the inside as Josh, so... Yeah, right. Massive move from the
Watch the
man.
back there. That is very... Yeah, you know what? Full props to Banana Josh. Usually those moves don't come at the right time, but I think that was the right time. Is now Lunacy's coming back towards him, down towards the the Nürburgring version of the carousel, not the Nordschleife version. I don't know what that corner's called. I can't remember.
It's a hairpin. We'll go with that.
Okay. And he's all over him going into the Schumacher S's. Will he try around the outside? No, but he's going to push him through the corner. As Banana Josh is going to defend the inside.
Oh, this is a great position for Lunacy to be in, though. This is really possible to outbrake someone around there, and he just actually slips in behind.
And it's going to offset Banana Josh for the next corner, because that is really a one-line corner for the whole of it.
Yeah, he is.
Right,
he's testing Josh everywhere right now. He's just he's every single line he can take, every single corner.
He's pushing him down the back straight. He is actually pushing him.
He doesn't want to give up anything.
Yeah, Banana Josh holds onto the lead through the chicane. Just gonna see if there's any other battles anywhere, and no one's really close. You got BCPRD, BK, and Prezzo all near each other, but no one looks like they're gonna make a move. So it really does seem like the battle for the lead is the closest one we got at the moment. Will Lunacy return the favour into turn one?
I think he will, as he shapes it up and he's going real deep under the brakes. Josh sees him coming.
Josh is going to try and hold it around the outside, which should give him the inside for two. Will he be able to have that mid-corner speed? Yes, his mid-corner speed actually seems to be a bit better than what Lunacy was when Lunacy did the same move. Very nice through three. Now will Lunacy try anything in the four? No, but he's going to line himself up for five.
And that was a great exit from Lunacy.
Yeah,
that was fantastic.
Really wide.
As he'll think about it, just holds off for now. He's got probably 3 more corners in this lap alone where he can easily get a move done and just try and stretch his legs a little bit. But Lunacy, he's someone who, prides himself on his racecraft. I think it's... Now, correct me here if you know. Is it Lunacy who does plenty of iRacing? Or is that Tex?
I know Tex does a fair bit of iRacing. I don't know about Lunacy.
Okay.
I think
Wasn't
Lunacy does
quite
do iRacing
sure.
as well.
Or if he does, it's a bit of iRacing prowess showing through. He is just, every single bit of experience that Lunacy has, he's trying to exploit on Joshy. He's trying to get any leg up.
So we got 3 cars going for it before the hairpin. Banana Cake Pie and BK side by side going down. Prezzo just in front of them. Can Banana Cake Pie hold it around the outside? I don't think he's going to be able to.
Not quite.
Yeah, BK keeps the position. But Banana Cake Pie's got his foot tyre there. They're going to go side by side through the Schumacher S's, but BK holds on to the position. If I was those two, I'd be working together to try and get ahead of Prezzo. That's what I would be doing. Prezzo's shown a bit more race pace in that WA car, but working together with Slipstream and a bit of bump drafting, I reckon they can both pass him before the end of this race.
Yeah, but
both are rocking over half-second penalties, which could be, the nail in the coffin, even if they do get past him. As Banana Cake Pie goes to the inside of BK up to the chicane. They're going to go.
Just jump to the lead here. There's going to be a pass to the lead here. Lunacy again shaping up to the inside of Banana Josh. Outbreaking him, but Josh
is going to hold it around the outside.
Same thing.
He seems that, he's got that little bit better tyre wear, which gives him the better corner speed. Will Lunacy look up the inside of turn 3?
Oh, he does! That's a
does.
huge send from Lunacy.
There's a bit of contact. I think it was lag contact on our screen, but there definitely was contact by the way Banana Josh's car moved, and he really likes that wide line on the X of the 4. I don't know if the stewards will have to look into that.
No, I know, I wasn't the one who set out track limits for this round, but I know that corner in particular, as there's contact there mid-corner, Lunacy getting another massive run. I'll finish that off quickly. That corner is one that has never been looked at for track limits, so it's usually all clear.
Will Lunacy try and move into the hairpin? Banana Josh, they're going to go side by side through the hairpin. Can Josh hold it around the outside and stick it?
Oh, it's so close.
They're going to go side by side.
Josh has got the better run. Lunacy knows it.
I think they're both good for fuel now.
Oh, what's happened there? Josh has run a little bit wide. Sorry, it might have just been the angle there. It looked like Josh was running well off the track.
Yeah, I thought Lunacy shot past him before that corner.
Yeah. Caught me out a little bit. It's Josh running well wide of the apex there, so Lunacy making the better of that corner. And having a better run down towards the chicane. One thing I've noticed too from watching Lunacy these last couple of laps is the secondary part of the chicane is not one that he is strong at. So if he
does
isn't
struggle a
ahead,
lot on the exit.
correct, if he isn't ahead before then, I don't think we'll see a move at the final corner.
Well, if I was Lunacy, I'd be waiting until the main straight to try the move. I'd just try and get as good a run as you can through the chicane, which it looks like he's done, and look for the move into turn 1.
I think the problem now...
I would even try and go the outside if you could.
I think the only problem with that now as we begin the final lap now of the first race of State of Origin is just the amount of lap left. There he goes. Has he learned? Will he be deep enough? And he muscles out Josh and he gets it done. There we go.
Very nice move from Lunacy into turn 1. Now, can Josh retaliate? He's got the tyres, but he may not have the fuel.
You know, it's hardly the tyres anymore for Josh. It's been a bit more of an even fighting now as we check the fuel of both guys. So Josh probably a little bit more fuel limited than Lunacy is, but they've both got enough to push to the end. As Josh will now be looking at any way he can to get this position.
If you're Josh, where are you looking? Are you looking hairpin or are you looking that chicane? I'd be looking the chicane. Knowing Lunacy's weakness on the exit of it, I'd be looking the chicane.
Yeah, look, I personally would definitely be looking at something around that final corner. I know that if I'm Josh, I'm quicker through that final section, and I'd be looking at either running that a little bit deeper through the final corner and hoping Lunacy's compromised, or just throwing it at him out of nowhere, and being that little bit more aggressive and catching Lunacy out, which we have seen from Josh before, so he'll try and shape it up. There is not longer this lap to go now. There's about 45 seconds left, and Josh is not done with him.
Just while this battle's a little quiet, the two Victoria boys are going side by side, coming up towards the back straight. I think Bodhod now with his fuel saving, he's just let Timmy through, but we'll go back to the lead. Can Banana Josh do it? Final lap, only a few corners to go. Will he go for the dive into the chicane?
He's close. He's very close.
I reckon he'll go for it. Nah, he stays behind, but can he get the exit now for the final corner?
Oh, he's close enough. He could throw something here, but I think he's just going to hold back. And he doesn't get the run. That's not quite enough for Josh needed it. Lunacy's done it. That is a great drive from the Lunacy.
Very well driven from both of them. And sort of quiet race, but Tex comes over the line for Queensland in P3. The two Victoria boys, I think Timmy's going to stay ahead of Bodod. Yep. So Tim Ant 4th, Bodod 5th. Blocky Rex managed to wake his way up to 6th after that atrocious first few laps where he was involved in many incidents. Prezzo, nearly a late dive there from Banana Cake Pie, but he'll come through to 7th. Very disappointing for him. He would have been hoping for better, probably. Banana Cake Pie follows him very closely in 8th. BKXI seems to have really had the fuel save on this final lap, comes home in 9th. And Jamo for New South Wales will take 10th, and JM Wags for New Zealand will take 11th and reverse grid pole for the sprint race.
And there we have it. That was race 1. 20 laps on the Nürburgring. Your official results with plenty more than half the field picking up penalties. But the man in the moment is the Lunacy. Someone who, you know, you picked it, didn't you? That was...
Yeah, I did say that fuel and tyre was Lunacy's. It was mainly his consistency and able to keep that all in check. I'm just going to duck away for 2 seconds and I'll be right back.
Yep, not a problem. Now might actually be the perfect time for me to go ahead and do this little bit of a bit of a lap guide for you guys. We'll jump out here now. Hopefully a little bit better time. So we go Minardi Burger, OP Magic just joining the fold. And we'll come out here. I hope there's a short 5-minute break for these guys before they get going. And we will send it off. So coming out of pit exit here. And very right you are, Kane. That was a fantastic win for Queensland. Lunacy had it set up the whole way, was just making sure he could get it done. And I would really prefer it if these guys could stop talking in the chat. That is okay. Got a little bit of heat in the tyres now, so we'll start talking you through it. This first complex is very interesting to get used to. And that'd be about as wide as Banana Josh was going. We'll head here under the bridge, and this is a very quick 4th gear left-hander as we brake just after those disappear. We'll miss the apex by plenty and then braking just after that curb down into 3rd. Just keeping the rolling speed up and use a lot of that exit curb. You can see where I'm shifting just after the suggestion. but before the red line, and then after this curve begins, we're definitely driving a little bit rusty at the moment, as we'll gun it on exit, and then head up here to the flat Schumacher S, which is flat in majority of the Group 4 cars in this game, which is good because it is a fantastic corner to take at speed. And we'll head up now here to the beginning of the final sector. We'll go down 2 gears just before that green curbing, and we'll use a lot of that inside curb. Hold it in third, let it bang the limiter out a little bit, and then just let it nice and coast through here before running it out to this back straight. And that was that's a fantastic little sector, that left right there. Very reminiscent of the one at the end of Sector 1, start of Sector 2, but this chicane is less good, as we'll go down 3 gears, just at about 105 metres. Bounce over that one there, bounce over that one there, and we'll pin it coming out, just trying to sort of maximise our run to the final corner. Quick shift into fourth, sorry. And I'm just going to try second for that, and then use all the curb on the exit just to try to straighten our run. And back onto the main straight. Here we'll go. We'll talk through Sector 1 as well. So braking here at roughly the 100 metre mark. We've got Rid 1 for company coming out here. We'll go down to second gear for this corner. You just want to try and hook the tyres over that inside curb while avoiding the bump. That was crucial. That caught a lot of guys out that race. And then hold it in third here, just kissing that inside curb, and then running it all the way out to the Astro, up to fourth, and then down to turning in early so that you can get all of this curb maximised, and then running it a little bit wider through here so that you can use all of the exit out here, because that is the quickest way to shoot out of Sector 1. And then back around to it. Do we have you back now, Dynamite, as I pick up a beautiful penalty?
I am back. I just had to go test my blood sugar, so I'm back and ready for race number 2.
Lovely. I'm going to ruin Rid 1's fun and just jump off.
I'm going to come out and join you on the track with a dodgy hand. Let's see how I do with this.
That's right. I will go on board with you and give myself the chance to have a quick break as well. So feel free to talk people through what you're going to do. I'll have them on board with your bonnet cam, and the stage is yours, my friend.
That's where the non-inappropriate sponsor
I shall be back shortly.
No worries. As we come through here, this is where we saw a lot of moves, a lot of drivers hanging around the outside, which then gives them the outside into turn 3, but this is where having the inside line is probably better, as you excuse my dodgy driving without having to drive with one hand at the moment, because it gives you the line through turn 4. We've seen a lot of drivers using this track out here, but you want to be back towards the track before that dirt, as I just ran over it. And then this corner here is very, very nice to get a move into. More the outside, you're more able to hang around the outside, because then it gives you the inside for this corner. And by having the inside for that corner, you have the ability to run your opposing driver off the road and get the run coming down to this hairpin. Where it's pretty much a one. I would say it's only a one-line corner, but other people may say otherwise. I tend to find there's only one good line through there, and we actually saw a fair few people going side by side through this section, which is really weird. It's not something you would normally see. Maybe it's car specific, but that is it's a flat out corner. And then into here, this is where having the run through this part of the corner helps you very much into this next one, and it gives you run onto the crucial main straight, which is where we saw a lot of overtaking moves, probably second only to the main straight. And I think it's mainly because the chicane at the end of it's only really, there's only really one way you can go through it, so you really need the inside here. As you can see, as we run wide and we take the BKXI line through there, and up to the final corner, second gear, you want to make sure you get a nice exit and get a little bit of exit curb, and then onto the straight. Whereas if you're following someone, you have a slipstream. You saw in the race you get a nice run into turn 1, and with the way turn 1's made, you can take multiple lines through it and possibly get the move done. You back, Viper? I'd say not. So we'll try and set a decent-ish lap here. It's not going to be fast, but try and see if I can get anywhere in the low twos. Should also point out that I'm using a H shifter and a clutch as opposed to some of these guys who will be running just your standard paddle shift. I don't know what I'm on track for here, but hopefully it's a decent-ish lap time. Break myself into the hairpin. Again, running the BKXI line through there. Sorry, BK, but you did it once and I have to take the piss out of you, and I get a 5/10 penalty. Still, you'll see what sort of lap time we can get together. It's not going to be a low 2, but what's that? 206.6, which turns into a 207. So not too bad for a guy with a fractured wrist, but definitely improvement needed. Don't think I'd be anywhere near these guys tonight, but yeah, that's a kind of hot lap of the Nürburgring GP. So you can sort of see what these guys are doing at much faster speeds and having to race each other. But definitely a very good race one. Seeing that battle come down on the last couple laps between those two. It's a shame. I would have loved to seen Tex up there with them, but obviously just having to. Dropping back a little bit there in that second stint on the softs, and Lunacy and Banana Josh really pulling away from him. But hopefully with a reverse grid we'll see a lot more overtakes, probably some carnage on that one. We're going to cancel our entry here. I don't think Viper is back to cancel his entry.
I was here. Yeah. I was just on the phone to a friend. So.
That's fair enough.
We're committed here at the Project One commentary team, aren't we?
Very committed. We'll jump into spectator mode here, and then let's start a race too. Yeah,
Very exciting.
A bad lap. That wasn't a bad lap for someone with a fractured wrist.
I was keeping an eye on it. That was pretty solid.
Using a H shifter and a clutch with a fractured wrist, I didn't think that was too bad. So
no, it wasn't bad at all.
Definitely major improvement needed, but I'm happy with it.
I've seen worse. Definitely seen worse. As Jamo is treating us to some lovely burnouts now.
Thank you very much, Jamo. Way to keep the audience entertained.
Actually, have we checked? How many laps is this? Oh, another 20 lapper. So yeah, it is 2 20 lappers for tonight's State of Origin round. And interestingly enough, so there's a lot of different, tyre options that we've gone with here. So last race's race winner, Banana Josh, has gone with the soft tyre, whereas his
Lunacy won the last.
It was Lunacy, wasn't it? And yeah, there you go. So BCP's actually just fixed that up. So that is a 15 lap race now, which is what I actually expected. I didn't think it would stay at 20 laps. But yeah, Lunacy, our race winner, was not Josh. I was not correct with the mediums, whereas Josh is now on the soft tyre. So it will be a strong start from him at the back of the pack.
Quick prediction for race 2?
Look for Bodhod. Is all I'm going to say. Look for Mr. Bodhod.
I reckon Prezzo's going to break his duck and he'll win this race. Starting from close to the front.
We've gone a bit left field with those options, haven't we?
Yeah. I don't think, with the way these cars are made, I don't think anyone's going to be able to come from the back to win. Maybe podium.
Oh, hold on. That's who we were missing. So it was the second South Australia car, which is now Minardi Berger, who has joined us.
OP's here.
There we go. Here we go. There's 4 lights, no lights as we get racing. It is Jamo and Wags off the front row, and a great start from those guys, as I'll just get a little bit more information on the screen for you. Here we go, jamming themselves into turn 1 now. 12 Toyota 86 GT4 cars, and it's Bodhod down the inside of everyone, but Wags sweeping around the outside and gets it done. with Jamo following in
Bonhard
behind.
actually clipped Prezzo a little bit there, and I was actually expecting Jamo to be a bit more late on the brakes, knowing how Jamo usually takes the first lap. As he actually goes down the inside into turn 3, but that's going to put him on the outside.
BK, look at that. Huge sideways moment for BK as he goes side by side with Blocky.
Bodhard's had an amazing start. He's up to 4th, so maybe he is in for this race. Now he's going to go for 3rd past JM Wags. And I don't think it'll take him long to dispatch of these New South Wales cars, unfortunately. I did not expect Bodhard to make that good of a start.
Well, no, I called it, didn't I? All I said was watch Bodhard. And the thing is, so these two cars ahead of him, both on the medium tyre. So the New South Wales cars are committed to the medium compound. As BCP throws it at his teammate, makes contact. That is some pretty poor teamwork as Bodhard says, thank you very much, boys. I will take 2nd place. And he's going to try to do it around the outside of the Schumacher S. And he'll make it stick, will he? No, not quite, as Jamo gives him the shoulder, but Bodhard will just get a little bit of a better run coming out of here. So round the outside might be doable for him if he can just stick it in, and he does. There we go.
Jamo. Watch out for Blocky here, because Jamo's putting up a good fight and is going to leave Bodhard vulnerable to Blocky.
Yeah, Blocky with a little bit of lag too.
And the 2 Queensland boys. No, is it just Tex? Just Tex, never mind. I thought I saw 2 maroon cars, but it was a maroon and a black car of JM Wags.
Now, what Bodhard needs to be careful is Tim throws it at Blocky out of nowhere, and Jamo's around it wide actually, so that's Jamo, my mistake. Oh, Bodhard's around! Bodhard is around!
Bodhard's been tapped around,
and he's got damage too.
And that is bad for the both of them, oh my god.
And he's missed the pit lane as well, so Bodhard won't be able to pit this lap. And Blocky as well with front damage. So that is Bodhard and Blocky, probably two of our key runners who have just plummeted out of nowhere.
And this puts Tim Amp in the prime position for this race.
And curving as well. Last race's third position finish up.
Banana Cake Pie's no slouch. If he can hold his own on this medium stint and go to the softs at the end, I think he's had a good shout for at least a top 5.
Exactly
possibly
right.
Even a win.
We'll just see if we can grab a replay there of the incident between... No, I may have lost it actually. I thought I had something going with the incident between Bodhard and Blocky, but we have absolutely nothing for some reason, which is horribly disappointing. No, we have it here. We have it here. No, so we've just gone into replay mode. So we've got Bodhard, who was looking to get a move done on Jamo. Blocky in behind, just following these guys. With Tim, who chucks it down the inside of everyone. Bodhard and Jamo made slight contact. And Bodhard's just lost it on exit. So Bodhard's done it all on his own. And I think somehow Blocky has gotten involved in it as well. So that is...
He's got a bit on the grass, yeah.
Yeah. Horrible bad luck for Blocky. And that's just a really... unfortunate moment for Bodhard.
And while we were on there's now a massive scrap for just outside the top 5. Banana Josh has actually made it up past multiple drivers in the
as you're
place.
saying that too, the change for the lead has happened. So Tim Ant coming through on that fresh set of soft tyres has tried to get it done around BCP. BCP's fighting for it. He is the lead driver.
Yeah, he's held it, and I reckon Tim will get him here into the chicane, having the softer rubber, probably being able to brake later, but will BCP defend it? It looks like he is defending it, so he's not willing to relinquish this lead, and all this is doing is allowing Tex on the mediums to also close up to these two. I mean, Tex has made an bit of a quiet, immaculate start here.
Yeah, but huge drive from Tim out of the chicane.
As he gets a bit of a bump there from Banana Cake Pie, and I reckon BCP will be looking for turn 1 here. He's not the sort of guy to just let you pass him and not do anything about it.
There are two ways to look at this, and BCP could either sit behind and try and benefit a little bit from what Tim's running with the pace, or he can send it at Tim each and every corner, and in turn he'll be slowing up everyone behind him and probably shore up this race for himself.
Keep it clean in the turn 1. He's now got to watch out for Tex, who's on the same strategy as him. And then we've got Jamo running really well in 4th place. He had a bit of a scruffy first lap, but he's managed to keep it there, and I think all the Banana Josh is actually out to 5th now, so he's going to be charging through on those medium tyres as well. JM Wags in 6th, and Lunacy will be looking to get past Wags very quickly, but he's actually got BK to deal with. And OP and Prezzo behind. OP missing out on the feature race, so starting from the back for this one.
Yep.
And he's managed to get ahead of Prezzo.
Jamo was one of those drivers too involved in that really unfortunate Bodhod and Bocky incident. So for him to be, still up as high as he is actually really impressive. As we go back, actually, so Bodhod chose to press on with this damage to the front the front right and the front bar, and so too Blocky. So
JM Wags in the gravel.
Oh, yep.
He's just dropped back to 11th, only ahead of his teammates. So the Kiwi guy's having a very bad round here at Nürburgring.
Oh, and he's done it all on his own too, so that was just a little bit too much power on exit, and Wagsy has found himself well off in the weeds.
As we look back up, and Texas has passed Banana Cake Pie. So
there we go.
he's probably the favourite to lead this one after the pit stops.
Oh, but BCP, he's got something to say about that.
He's looking, but I think he thinks better of it. If I was him, I'd just be sticking behind Tex. He's shown better pace all weekend than BCP. That Queensland car looks like the setup might be a bit better than the New South Wales car, so...
What you mean with that stock BOP setup they've got going?
Yeah, totally. As we actually look now, Banana Josh is probably going to pass Jamo into turn 1. He will not want to be stuck behind him.
Oh, he's a fair way back, 2.5 tenths back is Josh. He's got the same rubber.
I don't think it'll stop it. I think he kind of knew Jamo was going to be sitting on the apex a bit.
Yeah, it wasn't really going to work for him. Jamo, who is, you may agree with me here, probably one of the drivers who's shown the greatest improvement over the seasons we've had him.
Oh, definitely. From where he was I can't remember his debut, because I'm pretty sure it was not too far before mine. He has shown considerable improvement, especially driving that Merc and the GR3s, and even here he's holding his own against Banana Josh as he outbrakes him and cuts him off. It's a nice defensive move there from Jamo on probably the pace setter for the first race. And
yeah, it was...
Lunacy and OP have managed to get up into 6th and 7th. They look like they're on the charge. Bodhod has actually managed to get past BK even with that damage. And it's BK versus Prezzo now.
Yeah, that's gone from bad to worse for both BK and Prezzo. Bodhod, who is still on the medium, so he is, running some really quick laps considering his damage, but, being that far back. We'll actually go back to the front here. So, of course, the idea behind these split tyre races is that the people running the soft tyres for the first stint will sort of gravitate towards the top, which is what we've seen now with Tim with a 3.8 second lead. But it does mean you are highly jeopardised for the second half of your race. So we'll just go through and see where these guys have ended up. So Tex will be the lead car on the mediums, who has BCP for company, who actually has a little bit more fuel. So these guys will be, pretty much probably line of stern come out of the pits. With Jamo as well running the mediums in P4, who's got Josh also in the mediums in P5. Then we've got Lunacy and OP now coming side by side in the final corner. And OP gets it done. OP also starting on the medium tyre. That has actually been a fantastic start from OP, considering he hadn't done any miles. That was Bodhod actually peeling into the pits there.
That was... Who was that? The back that's just binned, I think it was James Wags just binned it into the pit wall. Yeah.
We'll just check that out, actually. I do have a replay for that.
Prezzo has now made it
yep.
BK.
Yep, Wagsy's ended up well in the gravel. And, he did keep it out of the wall, but that was less than ideal.
Okay, we'll give him that. He's struggling a bit. Hopefully he comes back for the next week's race and a bit more refreshed, maybe a bit more confidence, and we can see how, because James Wags is someone who is very quick, as Banana Josh has actually made it past Jamo, who I think is starting to struggle a bit on those tyres. By the way, he just took turn 5, so...
Is it a little bit wild from the sounds of things?
Yeah, really wide, nearly into the grass wide, so he's now going to contend with OP and Lunacy, who from the last row of the grid have actually made very good progress, so especially for OP, considering he wasn't in the first race, so these were his first laps.
Yeah, exactly right. That's what I was alluding to just before we saw Wags make his mistake. Ahead of what was last race's winner, on the exact same strategy, on the exact same tyre, and, pretty much exact same fuel numbers. OP's actually saved a little more.
Yeah, he's actually saved a little bit more fuel, so that's very impressive.
Too true. We'll go back as well, check out Prezzo running on the mediums. We'll finish off with this little run. BK mediums, Blocky. Now, of course, Blocky was hindered greatly by that incident we saw at the chicane. He is running the soft tyre, so that will be very unfortunate for him. Wagsy on the medium, who is, you know, having a pretty tough outing in the Air New Zealand Toyota 86. And then Bodhod, who's now gone to the softs after his first pit stop of the, you know, probably first and only pit stop of the race. I'll correct myself. Running in 12th.
This race will be a rider for him because he'll manage to get a major undercut on them, but yeah, coming towards the end of the race, he'll just lose all pace compared to the others. We got Curving Texas in the pits by the looks of it, and Lunacy. So the two Queensland boys opting to come in early.
It's not that early, thinking about it. So that'll be 10 laps now. They'll have to run on the softs.
It's a shorter race. Never mind. I was going back to when you said there was a 20-lap race. As we look at Blocky, who's making the move on the inside of Prezzo in the turn one. Prezzo looks for the over and under, but being on those medium tyres compared to Blocky's softs, I don't think he'll be able to make the move.
Yeah, this is... It's still damage limitation.
OP's actually managed to make it past Jamo.
Oh, it's Blocky. Oh, Blocky's going for it. Around the outside of BK, coming out of the first sector. That is audacious if he can get it done. He's found the position. BK...
Side-by-side contact.
And he gets it done.
The inside.
We'll see if BK can hold it. No.
And he's actually going to have to watch out for Prezzo now, but I think Prezzo just made a mistake, but he'll get the drive, but I don't think it'll be close enough for the corner.
Fantastic move from Blocky.
As the gap between Tim-Ent and BCP is now 8 seconds, so Tim-Ent's he's going to have to watch out for the two Queenslander boys when he does come to the pits, because they're going to have a massive undercut on people now.
Well, yeah, I think Tim, you know, he's running pretty long on these softs. Or, you know, not pretty long, 6 laps.
Prezzo's gone for the move on BK. They touch, and Prezzo gets the move. He's up in the 7th. That was a very late move there. I don't think BK saw it coming and turned in, and there was contact. No damage, though.
Yep, we'll just have a look at that one, actually. So, on board with Prezzo, who tucks in behind BK, sets him up, throws it down the inside. And yeah, BK did actually turn in a little bit and make some heavy contact, but Prezzo gets through there with no damage, no penalties either way. There you go, up to 7th for the West Australian, who his fellow teammate is currently P3, and this is actually the battle that I would say everyone needs to keep an eye on, is BCP versus Bernardo. This is the lead for the drivers running the medium tyres for their first stint. Tim, obviously running the softs, will run away at the opening, but these guys will be on for the outright race win come the end of that 15th lap.
Yeah, I gotta remember that Tex was ahead of these two before he pits, so he's going to get an undercut on them, but these two will have fresher tyres towards the end. If Josh can get ahead of BCP and pull away a bit, he could bring himself back into the battle with Texas, but it's crucial. I just don't think BCP has the pace of the two Queenslander cars to warrant a charge towards the end. He might be on pace with them, but he's definitely aiming for a top 5. But Banana Josh, he could be in the battle for the win here, but it's crucial that he gets past BCP urgently.
Yeah, absolutely right. And there's Curving Texas now actually setting the fastest first sector of the race. So he is 2/10 purple on what we've seen from Tim-Ent with a 3.7. So Texas doing exactly what he needs to right now, just setting really quick lap times, trying to get that undercut. And I might actually, don't know if I can get a pit delta time. No, I'm not able to do that, but I think it's not going to be that far apart when we see Tim come in.
I think he came out 38 seconds behind Tim, and that was about an 7-second gap when he came in. So you're looking at around 30 seconds, and he's brought it in under 30 seconds now. So that's rough estimate by what I saw, but I reckon if he doesn't get any traffic, which he's still got 5-6 seconds to the two guys in front who should pit sooner or later, I reckon he's got a good chance of jumping Tim here. It's just whether those softs will hold up towards the end.
And BCP, yeah.
Yeah, BCP pits. Banana Josh doesn't pit.
No.
Stays out, yeah.
That's alright, and that's actually a very good fuel save there from BCP and Jamo. Both the New South Wales cars choosing to come in this lap. And that'll be more than enough just to carry them through to the end of the race. BK as well with a huge fuel save. Prezzo as well choosing to peel in. A huge stack of cars, actually, as we'll go back further to see if anyone else chooses to make that move. No, they don't.
So Lunacy and Tex are up to 5th and 6th respectively, so Bodhod seems, yeah, Bodhod will be staying there. Will Banana Cake Pie, yes, he does come out ahead of Bodhod. He should come out ahead of Bodhod, well, he nearly jumps. So he's been jumped by Lunacy, so I reckon on those numbers it looks like Tex should jump Tim out. Cake Pie come out first of the stoppers, then it was Jamo, and BK and Prezzo come out pretty much nose to tail there. I think Prezzo might have bumped BK a bit into the braking zone, but there you go. They go side by side through turn 2. Prezzo's going to look for the over-under. He's going to look to the inside for turn 3. Yeah, he thinks better of it. Oh, no, he goes for the very late move. And he's going to, but now this will give BK the inside for turn 4. And he holds the position, but stay on board here until they get down, because it looks like Prezzo's got the run down into turn 5. Can BK outbrake him? He's going to hold on. Ooh.
Oh,
no, these two are not afraid to use the bumpers on their cars, that's for sure.
No, and BK just going into that left-hander was very mindful of the fact that Prezzo may have been showing his nose. He left a lot of room down there, probably actually jeopardised the both of them, but Prezzo now looking to get it done down at the hairpin. He'll show the nose, he'll throw the nose as well, and then takes the position down the inside. We'll see if BK can hang it around the outside, but never really an ideal situation to be in down there.
He's probably looking for the drive, follow him in the slipstream through the Schumacher S, which is flat out, and then look for the move going into the... I can't remember what turn that is.
It is a corner without a doubt.
It is a left-hand corner.
It is. The battle for second now has actually heated up. Bernardi Berger is running some ridiculous lap times now in P3. That was a 4.2 last time out, a 4.7 this time by, and he is very close to Josh now, under 3/10. And you'd think he'd probably throw a move here if he can.
Yeah, he might be thinking.
Oh, that's late. That's
late.
Very late.
And he's push Banana Josh wide. Banana Josh is holding it on the outside.
Oh, this is silly now.
Yeah, these two.
Oh, there we go.
This is not what they want. Someone's just gonna go through. Someone just let one lead the other. Take the slipstream. All this is gonna do is lose your time to the pack behind.
And it looks like OP has sort of stamped his mark on that one, and that was actually a very tidy move there. I'll see if I can just get a replay. And we just catch the end of it, so that was, Bernardi Berger just sliding the nose in behind Banana Josh, and that was a great move coming down into the inside of turn 4.
Oh, we've got Prezzo and BK going at it once again. These two have been together pretty much the whole race.
Oh, BK
Prezzo
across the
grass. BK on the grass.
Yeah.
And then BK pushes Prezzo off the track by the looks of it. Prezzo managed to hold it somehow. These two not afraid to go at it, and these two again, contact.
They are. They can't be separated, can they?
They do say rubbing's racing, but I think to a certain point there's a difference between rubbing and smashing.
And again, I'm being pretty opportunistic with these replays. So it was Prezzo who showed his nose down into turn 1, just sort of kept it there just to be a bit of an annoyance. And BK, struggling to live with that. We'll see if we can get an outside view. And I feel like he just sort of cooked that himself, and it's ended up with Prezzo well off the road, rejoining down further at turn 4. And then, of course, it was the battle resuming down there with BK around the outside.
Oh, and OP and Banana Josh looked like they were battling, but they've both come into the pits now. We'll see what their fuels are like, and OP's going to come out ahead. He went into the pits ahead, he's got less fuel to put in, so unless Banana Josh extremely under fuels, which wouldn't help his case either way. So, yes, Bernardi Berger looks set for top 5 here from the back row of the grid. I'd be interested to see whether he comes out ahead of Lunacy and BCP. That'll be where I think Tex will have them both with his undercut, but will he come out ahead of those two?
Now, one guy we've slept on till now, and look, it's not to say he's done a bad job. Tim Ant is currently our race leader, but being on the soft tyre, it's hard to say how much of an advantage that is in a race like this, but just looking at the times he's been laying down, so Tim's been setting some really consistent low to mid 4s, which is, he's lost less than a second since he put those tyres, or actually started the race on those tyres, so to serve the compulsory pit window time for the tyre compound, he will be coming in either the end of this lap or the end of next lap, and he's actually now extending the gap on Curving Texas. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I wonder if Tex is saving tyres a bit to make sure that he can combat Tim if needed at the end. If I was him, I would just kept pushing because the soft tyre usually does have a pace advantage over the medium unless extremely worn.
Yep.
But I'd say going off at the moment, that gap has stayed around 28.5 seconds. It's been there for about 3 or 4 laps now. From what I said before, I think it's roughly 30 seconds, maybe give or take, because it's less fuel he's got to put in. But I reckon it'll be very close. And judging by the fact that Lunacy jumped BCP and another, I think it was someone else. I think it was Banana Josh. I reckon Curving's got it as Tim Ant has come into the pits.
Here we go.
Now this is receivable. I'll go on board with not Lunacy, with Tex.
Sorry, we'll all watch on board from Tex. So this will be the point of view that we want to see. So Tex coming through the final chicane now. This will be a crucial set of corners for him if he wants to be even close to Tim. So Tim, who has led this race from effectively start to finish now, since he took the lead early on, will be hoping he can get out ahead of these guys. If we can just grab Tim now, who's
Tim's
leaving the pits.
He's leaving the pits. This is going to be very close. Nah, Tex has got about a 4-second gap. Now the question will be, can Tim hold on with those medium tyres?
I think you'll find he can. Like, he's got a very, very reduced fuel load. He's got fresh mediums under that car. Tim may have just pulled a bit of a masterstroke and strategy there, and I don't see him turning around and looking back at these Queensland blokes.
Either way, it will be a very productive round for Queensland if they still finish second and third. That'll be a double podium in both races and put them yards ahead in the team's championship.
Yeah, too true. And obviously our second of the Victorian drivers, Bodhod, who came into a bit of misfortune earlier in the race with Blocky, made a mistake at the exit of the chicane. He's actually just picked himself up a little bit more of a penalty, so he's rocking 1.3 seconds worth of penalties now, and that is not exactly the way he wants to round out this race.
As we've actually got a 3-way battle here for 4th place. Banana Cake Pie holding up OP Magic, or Minardi Burger, sorry, and Banana Josh, as OP goes down the inside going into the hairpin, and Banana Josh is going to try and follow him, but I don't think Banana Cake Pie is going to give Banana Josh any room. We know the rivalry between those two, as OP's managed to stay ahead, and I think Banana Cake Pie will do everything in his power to keep Josh behind.
Yeah, he's always been very stubborn in his defence, has BCP, and especially when there is the secondary banana behind him, he's always keen to prove that there's only one room for a banana in Project 1.
Yes, he wants to be the best banana.
He who is the quickest banana is the best banana, as they say.
We look now, as Banana Josh will probably wanting to be making this move on this lap to stay with OPs. He's going to look to the inside. Will he be able to outbrake BCP?
Oh.
No, BCP stays ahead. He's playing it dangerous on the nose of this. Here we go.
Oh, look at the
Banana Josh
run.
gets the run out of the chicane. He'll go up the inside of the final corner. And he's going to there's
bit of lag
there. Yeah, they're inside each other.
That was...
Now Banana Josh is ahead.
I didn't really want to put an NSFW warning on this, but I might have to.
That is the first time I've seen two bananas inside each other, and I don't think I want to see that again.
No, look, that's as close to a banana split on track as you'll ever get.
Will Banana Cake Pie go for the move?
Oh, look at the send!
Oh, he did well to hold it up.
Oh, and how many times have we seen that from Josh? That has just become his textbook defensive manoeuvre. Around the outside of turn 1, he can always hold it from there.
And now it'll be interesting to see the gap between Minardi and Banana Josh and Lunacy. Of course, Lunacy, one of the first medium runners to stop. His tyres are fairly worn compared to these guys behind him on fresher tyres, but will they have enough laps to catch up and pass him? Because as we saw in the last race, even on worn tyres, he's not very easy to pass.
And Minardi Burger is absolutely flying, so he is cutting that gap down to Lunacy. It's now under 2 seconds, and Minardi Burger, last time out, setting a 2:03 flat. So that is as quick as we have seen anyone go all night. Yeah, that is dangerously fast for the South Australian. A further 3/10 up.
He's going to be in the 201s by the end of this race.
This is some serious speed, and these guys ahead need to be really worried. So Tim currently punching low 202, so I think Tim may have this one in the bag with Curving Texas behind in the low 4s still. Lunacy with similar lap times now in the 4s on his worn set of softs. But yeah, it is the man on fire, Minardi Berger, who is now 4.5 tenths up on his purple lap. That is sending shockwaves through the community.
Well, you know what they say, red cars are always made to go faster, so I reckon that's one thing South Australia's got going for them, and OP's living up to the name, or to the legend, I should say.
Well, I was thinking if he does live up to the name, he's OP, isn't he?
Yeah, well that's his other name at least.
No, this is lightning quick.
Just looking down the rest of the field, big shout out to Jano. He's still in the top 10. He's running a very consistent pace ahead of some very notable runners like Blocky, who I think has Blocky pit. He stopped.
Yes, yeah, he has.
Yeah, so he's actually chosen not to repair that damage. He's got Prezzo behind him by just about a second, who will probably be looking to get past on those soft tyres. BK in 11th, bad race for him. I think he mucked it up a bit on strategy and choosing his battles, and Wags in last, of course, making his few mistakes.
You know, I'll be honest, I've actually just noticed something horrible about all of these 86 liveries, and if you watch this back, BK, please don't kill me. But if you see this right now, Dynamite, there is a Takata logo just in front of that number board behind the front tyre. That is not straight, it is crooked. And I'm now looking at it every time I see the side of the car, and I'm hurting.
BK, fix your shit.
Oh, I can't look at that the same. Please, God.
I mean, as a mechanic in real life, to see Takata on the cars actually makes me a bit scared. Because, as most automotive fans would know, the Takata airbag recall, it's not something you'd want to be putting on your cars if I was, you know, a racing series. Not really a brand I'd be endorsing at the moment, but yeah, at least fix the logo so it looks better than, you know, than that, because that looks really bad.
Luckily,
now, why did you point it out to me?
I couldn't help it, if I'm honest. I really couldn't help it. And Josh is actually trying to take our mind off things. Josh has now become the fastest car on track, so he is on... Are they slightly older softs? I cannot tell. But it's Berger who's pushing his defense all the way. That was to the absolute limit of the track.
This is going to be helping the two Queensland boys. And actually, since
he's off! That was Minardi Berger off. That was a crucial mistake there to let... Oh, that was really crucial. I think this could be the move that sees Josh storm through the field, if I'm honest.
I just want to point out, I said before that I think Tex might be saving something. He's dropped that gap to the lead to 1.3. So I don't know whether it's...
oh, no, that was Tim. Tim's times have dropped to a 5.1 at the last lap.
I just had them mixed up for a second there. I thought Tim was in the 203s, but it does look like Tex has dropped his times as well, because he was running in the 204s and now he's back into the 203s, so that gap is now a second. And Lunacy ain't too far behind them, but he's got OP, and OP's managed to get back out of Banana Josh now. I wonder if Banana Josh made a mistake.
We'll see if we can catch that on replay. Where did that happen? That was at turn 1 actually, so Minardi Berger down the inside just made sure of it, and he showed Josh absolutely no mercy on the exit. There was no room for Josh's trademark cutback. But yeah,
I'm going to be watching this race for the lead, because I thought it was weird that Tex dropped his pace so early on in the stint.
Well, where did that come from, really?
It actually looks... I can't tell if Tim's put on his indicators for a certain reason, or if he's maybe paused.
I think he's giving the commentators a bit of a hello with the blinkers on. That, or he's just trying to throw Tex off a little bit. But I'd like to think he's just trying to say hello. He's chucked the right one on this time. If you're listening to the commentary by any chance, Tim, can you chuck the right, then the left, then the right, then the left? Like go proper back and forth? That way we know for sure, because we have seen before these mind games with Texas. not in particular, just trying to get something done.
He's gone completely off now, so...
Yeah. Well, either he's very uncool, or he's not listening to the commentary. But I'd actually hope he's not listening to the commentary, because he has a race to try and win.
Come in now this is going to be the final lap. Can Tex do anything? I think Tex actually made a mistake. Or not, maybe it was just the bit early. But Ken Tex, he's got that gap down to 6/10.
Yeah, that was a Tim mistake there.
That was a Tim mistake. I think bit braked later into the chicane, but just didn't get the run through. So can Tex do anything? This is for the lead of the race on the final lap. Lunacy holding off OP and Banana Josh behind.
I can't watch.
And then you got Banana Cake Pie in 6, hoping they all take each other out.
I cannot watch. This is just closing up by the second. Curving Texas is absolutely flying on his one soft tyres now, and Tim is struggling to hold on to this. He wants this win so badly. He wants to start the season off with a win in the first round. He's only got one lap in the Nürburgring left to do it. In the background
really
too.
It looks like OP's trying to move on Lunacy. Nah, okay. But those two are looking. I reckon Lunacy's going to do his teammate a favour here, because if these two get through, they'll be right on. As OP's going to look for the move in the turn 5 and can't get there, will he look for it into turn 6? Nope, he's going to be right.
Oh, here's Josh!
And Josh barges his way through, but OP's going to get the run on the outside. This is actually going to help Lunacy a bit here.
And he's got the slipstream.
And Texas dropped a bit of time to Lunacy now, so I think that unless he can bring that gap to within 5/10 before them back straight.
OP went a little bit wide there. Josh took the opportunity and made the move, but it's side by side now into the Schumacher races. Who's going to come out on top? Neither of these guys will yield, and it's Josh who actually tries to make a bit of a crisscross out of it, but OP takes the position and will hold it through here. It is now 8/10 between Texas and Tim. Looks like Tim has just been able to maintain that gap through the lap. We'll see.
Tim's done enough. He's pulled a bunny out of the hat in this last lap.
It was the chicane that gave him problems last lap, so we'll just see if he can keep it together there. But these guys are still going hammer and tongs for P3, so Minardi Berger, is he close enough to Lunacy? Will he get anything done? He'll send it down the inside. And there's contact. Lunacy turns it in, and Lunacy through the chicane. Oh, he's been reset. Is that a reset from Lunacy? Oh, no.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, no.
Banana Josh and OP are going to go side by side through the final corner. Who's going to get third place? OP's going to get the run around the outside.
Oh, it'll be OP. That's Tim Man that, of course, won the race, so that was fantastic from Tim.
Mate, and very good from Tex coming back in those final few laps to nearly take the win.
Well, actually, we'll go back and quickly grab that replay. So that was a crucial moment for our race.
And Lunacy, he's going to be Devo with that, because I think that may have just cost him the championship lead.
And that was contact between Minardi Berger and Lunacy that left our man Lunacy stranded and reset back through the track. So
that'll be something that Lunacy will probably send to the stewards.
I think you're well onto something there. I think the stewards will have a very close look at how that went down, and I'm not sure Lunacy will be a particularly happy man.
As much as Lunacy's got to leave space, he's got to turn in at some point, so you can't be sitting there allowing him not to turn. But there's your unofficial results for the last round. Project 1 presents the location of Burst Series.
There we go. So it was Tim Man, of course, who won that race. We called it late, didn't we?
Yeah, he's going to be driver of the day for sure. Coming from that far back, what did he finish 4th in the first race, and now he's won that one, so he could be up for the championship lead there. But yeah, very well driven from Tim, and all three guys on the podium, very well driven to come back because they all started well back. And if I actually go to the race results here, what we got? Who we got? So we got Tim 1, Tim. Trying to go not drop as far back. It's done a very good job there. Prezzo in 9th, Blocky 10th, BK 11th, and JM Wags 12th.
There we go. So we're actually just going to get a word in from what will almost certainly be our round winner, Curving Texas, the first of the drivers from the Queensland team. How are you going, Tex?
Yeah, not too bad. Obviously, we had a good race there as a team, and some unfortunate events in that last race on that last lap, but still a good round for us, consistently up there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you'll find that Queensland will actually be on top of the team's championship coming out of that round. Does that fill you with a bit more confidence going into the next round? Or?
Look, it's what we're aiming for here. No one wants to not win. I know we've got a good lineup between myself and Lunacy, which I'm obviously pretty happy about. And yeah, obviously Lunacy showed today the pace that he's got in that first race, winning that, and then having a good drive after having to fight through the field in that second race. But no, he did a great job, and he's unlucky to not walk away with the podium in that last race as well.
Hey Tex, it's Dynamite here. What was your strategy for that last race? Because we saw in the middle of your soft stint there, your pace sort of dropped into the high 4s, low 5s, but then right at the end there, you picked it up. Were you just tyre saving, or did the car feel a bit unbalanced during the middle of the stint?
Purely just a lot of fuel saving. Tyre, obviously that was always going to help with tyres gradually towards the end of the race anyway. I kind of threw away a win there. Made a few stupid errors, but obviously the result was just to see that one out after seeing Tim's teammate Bodhod have a bit of a moment earlier in the race. But yeah, mainly just fuel saving in that race. I struggled a little bit with it, obviously doing lots of high revving gear changes rather than short shifting, but it is what it is. Happy to walk away with 2 podiums there and for myself, and then what could have been 2 podiums for Lunacy as well. And we'll take this what is expected to be a championship lead into round 2.
Yeah, great
There's
call.
a really good chance that Queensland's going to be on top in the championship. Well driven, Tex.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing how Queensland perform in the next second round, which I believe I didn't check the calendar. I should have checked the calendar before I started. I should have checked the calendar before I started.
It'll be Tokyo next round. So under the lights of the Japanese city, we will go for the Toyota 86 round. Lots of slipstream. Yep.
It'll be a slipstream for us.
Carnage.
And I'll have to slip out of the commentary box for that one and join you boys on track, I think.
Very nice.
That's alright. I'll still be here.
Lovely. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Tex. Of course, well done tonight, and we'll see you at the next one.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it. Dynamite, it has been an absolute pleasure calling with you tonight. That was very well called, and I think we had some good fun in the com box.
Yeah, it was very fun. I think this is the first time I've done commentary with another person, and I'm happy it was you. It was very well done. You had a really good technical insight, and I tried to add a bit of humour to it.
Yeah, you're making me blush. Don't do that.
I'm looking forward to commentating the next race when you're in the race, so I can poke some more fun at you there.
Don't do it too much. Come on, I'm gonna have to put on a bit of a show for you guys now, aren't I?
Knowing you'll probably start at the front and lead. So
I'll make it interesting. That reverse grid will be where all the sugar and spice comes out. So don't you worry.
I'm looking forward to it.
So am I. We'll cut it off there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Josh, if you're still around at all looking at it, well done. Kane as well, thanks for keeping tabs on everything. And Jackie, if you've been watching the whole time, apologies for not responding to you about keeping the mic warm. It was our pleasure, I'm sure. And I hope to see all you guys around in not long. So thank you everyone, and we'll see you at the next one.
Hasta la...
Bye-bye.